Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the second episode, my second live, and hopefully without any technical issues, to Retro Made Modern. I am Maud, the Retro Quilter, and today we are going to make some pom poms, but we will get to that in a little minute. First off, we'll do a little recap of the week, if you will. Yeah, so let me know first off, how's your week going? How's your day going? How are you doing? I would love to hear about it. Um, my week is going really good. Last week was a bit rough. You can't really tell from the video, especially because I have this quilt behind me. I'm actually in my living room. Um, I live in a 50s style bungalow house, and my sewing room is the farthest away from like the internet and everything. So I thought maybe if I come over here closer to the, oh my God, see, I'm not techie, my router, my modem, whatever the thing, whatever the box is, I hope it will be better. But anyway, okay, so this is what I did. I painted my living room, dining room area. If you can kind of see. Ooh. Yeah, I haven't gotten to all the putting it back together just yet. It'll get there. So when we first moved into this house, it was in 2019, thankfully just before COVID. And we moved in. We had two young kids. They're now 10 and 8. And so when we got here, we're like, we just need to move in. Like, we're not painting. Their little hands are going to be all over the walls and stuff anyway. So like we're just gonna move in. But now that they're older, it's like and it's springtime. Well, it's still cold here, but it's spring, and I get that itch every spring. I don't know about you, where it's just like, okay, the sun is out. I want to do all the things, and the first thing I want to do is paint. So the day hit me last week where I was like, yep, I've had enough. I'm painting, I'm doing all the things. And so for 3 days in a row, I was taping and painting and painting and taping. And I did like the whole, it's like an L shape, this space. I did my living room and dining room area. And I did all of the trim, like the baseboards, the windowsills, all the stuff. So, needless to say, I had to have some time to recuperate. I was very, very sore. It took a hot minute to recuperate, but that's okay. Um, and so I think it was the first day when I was just about to go paint. I put in my stories on Instagram. Um, the whole space taped off, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, am I regretting it?" Like, you get to that point and you're in it, you gotta keep going, but at the same time, you're like, "Did I just make a terrible mistake? This is gonna be so much work." You know what I mean? So, at any rate, I had a ton of people view that, and therefore a ton of people message me and be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what you're doing. It's gonna be epic," and da 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 da. Da. And I'm like, I painted it white. I did white. I painted it sugar white, technically. And I actually like the trim color is sugar white too. Like, it was so plain and basic and like womp womp. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. There is a retro strategy behind that. And it's really just like, I have really cool vintage curtains. I have really cool vintage pieces in this space. And I just kind of I want them to pop. I want them to shine. So, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes simple, sometimes that like it's the way to go. You don't have to go maximalist oh, all the time, which you know I like to. But all right, so that was the big one. And I I'm so excited about this project. I'm an Aurifil artisan. If you don't know Aurifil is a thread, a cotton thread that quilters adore. And so every month there's a different challenge that we are encouraged to participate in. And for April, the theme is to make a piece of clothing. And I've been an Aurifil artisan for 2 years. Is this the second year? Maybe three. I don't know. I have no concept of time in general. But what I discovered and had no idea, I think I mentioned it on the last live, but you know, I got wonky, was that Aurifil thread actually has a cotton serger thread. And I was like blown away by this information, had to get it immediately. And so what I've been working on, and I showed y'all a little bit of it last time, was this patchwork skirt. And I patchworked all of it with my serger, which was actually really, really fun. Oh my. Yeah, like I had a lot of fun just doing simple patchwork, but with my serger. And my Aurifil thread was like it's dreamy. Highly recommend. It's strong. I love it. So let me back up here. I don't want to hit my freshly painted wall. Oh, well, hello. Oh, ooh, okay. So this is it. This is my patchwork skirt. I still have to hem it, but the pattern actually said like you have to leave it for 24 hours to sort of like fall and drape. And I have a basting line I have to get rid of. I need one of those closures, like the bar thing, which I've never I'm terrible. I'm terrible at hand sewing, like functional hand sewing. So a little nervous about that, but I'll get it done. So that goes in here. And then I need like to hem it. But that's it. The pattern is the Millicent skirt by Gertie, the charm patterns. And so all of the patchwork were actually my scraps. They're Ruby Star scraps. And mostly I would say Alexia Abeg and Melody Miller prints, not all, but most. And I just think it's a really cool colorway that I came up with. I think they're wonderful over there at Ruby Star with like, you can interchange collections and they just somehow go. So these are all a bunch of different collections and scraps, right? So what I've done is take a warm color scheme with my pinks and oranges, reds, yellow, browns. And then I put in a few pops. And the pops are the lime. And then actually right next to the lime, like a purple, which is kind of like very similar to the pink, but it just kind of goes. There we go. It kind of has the same undertone as the lime. And I wasn't going to do this, but I'm so glad that I did. Then I put in the black, and the black gives it some weight. And so like the eye automatically kind of goes to the black. And I'm a t-shirt girl, so now I can wear all my funky black concert shirts and stuff with this cutie. Yeah, so that's my super secret project that isn't so super secret anymore. And I'm really flipping pleased. And this is like one of those projects where you're just like, I did that. I did that. I made that. Like, and it's funny because I make things all the time, but I think because I make things all the time, that feeling does not happen as often of like, check it out. I made this. I love this. And this is one of those pieces where I'm like, I freaking made this. I love it. Oh my gosh. I'm going to twirl so much in this dang thing. You know what I'm saying? And okay, I'm just going to take a quick pause. And I wanted to ask you all, how is this time working for you? You can put it in the comments. I usually have, well, usually this is the second time doing this, but I'm kind of wondering if an hour later would work better, because that would be noon Eastern time and some lunch breaks for some people. So whether it's good or whether you prefer a different time, please let me know. Put in the comments. I'll be able to see it, and I appreciate that. All right, so back to the clothing, because I meant to mention this last time as well. This is a printout of these 4 vintage pieces that I saw on some vintage Instagram page. I follow a lot of them. And I've been looking for a pattern, a sewing pattern for this. If you can see, it's really basic, but like with the patchwork, it's just zhuzhed up so much. It's beautiful. I cannot find a simple pattern. I thought when I first found, oh, I'll just get a pattern, no problem. I've been looking for 2 dang years and I still haven't found it. So if anybody comes across something like that, oh my gosh, please let me know. I'd be so grateful. Thank you. Oh boy. Thirsty. Okay. So pom poms are coming, but I also wanted to show you my thrifting score this week. So if you follow me on Instagram, I can't remember when it was, about a week ago, maybe a bit over. I popped into Value Village and I found B. Arthur, who I love, a candle, Saint B. I should have brought it up, but I was so thrilled to find that one score. And then here's a hot tip. So if you like retro things, especially if you're looking for specific retro items and you frequent the same thrift stores and things like that, get to know the staff, and let them know what you are looking for. So, for example, especially if it's something that you will always be looking for. So, for example, with myself, I'm always looking for vintage sheets. So, wherever I go, I basically let people know I'm looking for vintage sheets. And the cool thing about it is when the vintage sheets come in, sometimes I get a call and they're, they don't even hit the floor. They come right to me. And that's what happened the other day. And I had a local, it's in the region, a local thrift shop called Evergreen Thrift. They're fantastic. He shot me a message over this beauty. Like, come on. It's pansies. It's like, I've never been able to say this flower. Something, I don't know, but I'm thrilled. And so that's what I went there for. And then he says, well, unfortunately I think his grandma had passed recently, and he said that his grandma made this. Would I be interested in this? And it is it needs to be cleaned. It's a huge tablecloth. Look at the edges. This, I mean, that's the binding, but all the applique is hand stitched. It's all handwork. It is stunning. Okay, I can't get used to the mirror image on this. It is just beautiful. So this has to get cleaned up. I'm half tempted to wait until it gets nicer out because it's still flipping freezing here. So that I can, like, after I clean it, I can actually put it outside to hang and everything. That is one of the best ways to get out any scents or vintage sheets and stuff. Put it outside to dry, honestly. So I go to pick those up. Don't I find some more gems? Of course I did. Oh, it's so good. It smells like incense, though. It's got to get washed still. And as if quilting is forever and housework whenever. Like, the thrift gods just smiled upon me and said, here you go. It was awesome. It was awesome. I haven't had like a good thrift store haul like that where you just go in and you're like, today's my day. So yeah, that was really nice. And if you're a thrifter too, please check out my thrift store checklist. I will put it in the show notes. It is for free, gives you lots and lots of pointers so that you don't miss out any gems at the thrift shop. All right, so I promised Pom Poms. So Pom Poms, I just thought were like a really fun, easy way to add like into whatever you're working on. And they can be done in a few different ways. So let's make some pom poms. I got this ball of yarn. I don't know what kind of yarn it is or anything. It's just at the dollar store. So the first way that we can do this is quite simply, depending on how big you want it, you can wrap it around a couple fingers, 3 fingers, whatever you want. So that's all I'm going to do. We're just going to wrap. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we're going to keep, the more wrapping that you do, the fluffier your pom-pom is going to be. And the cool thing about this method specifically is that the littles in your life can do this really easily. Okay, I'm losing circulation, so I think it's probably good. Uh-oh, my zipper's stuck here on my little thing. There we go. And we're gonna cut that. Okay. Yep, I'm turning purple there. And then I'm just going to cut a little piece off. All right. All you're going to do is slide it very carefully so you're keeping it together off of your fingers. And you're going to take your other string and just tie it around the middle. Okay. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. See? I'd say double knot it. Now these, depending on what you're going to do with your pom-pom, you can leave this a bit longer. I would recommend that you do that. And now you're going to cut the loops. So these on one side and then on the other side, and they'll fray out into a nice pom-pom. Okay. Oh, there's another little loop. Okay. It's so satisfying. It really is. It's just a simple thing. I started doing this the other day and my kids were just like, you just did that? You just did that, Mom? You just made a pom-pom? Like, yeah, you want another one? I started throwing them at them. They were like, How are you doing this so fast? Because mom's magic, that's right. Okay, so there we go. Okay, get our longer piece out. And essentially, that's it. That is it. He looks a little rough, my pom pom friend. So what we can do is try to give it a haircut. We will circle back to that in just a minute because I'm going to show you another method, but we definitely needs a haircut to be more unison and or I mean if you like a little wackadoo pom pom, go for it. I mean, you do you, right? Okay. So that's one way. There are 3 ways to do it. The second one is to take a fork and just do the same dang thing. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to hold the end, and I'm going to wrap around the fork. The nice thing about this is that you get, well, one, you can get a smaller pom pom, but it's pretty unison. Unison, is that the right word? Am I thinking of the right word? It's like, I don't know if I'm thinking of the right word. Anyway, it's pretty balanced. Why? Okay. Yeah, there's the perimenopause hitting me. Okay. All right. This is looking pretty good. Bunch of yarn spaghetti on there. Okay, I'm actually going to wrap this up to hold the end. Snippety do. And again, cut a little piece. Okay. So you're just going to slide it off. Looks like a little cocoon or something. And again, you're just going to tie it in the middle. You could actually tie it on the fork. Now that I think about it, that would probably have been better. Tie it, and you're going to do the same dang thing. Snip the loops. Okay. And then you're going to have your pom pom. I think I should have gotten bigger scissors for this, to be honest. Okay, moving on. My scissors are cutting it for this guy. So the last way that you can do this, and coincidentally, I found that a lot of people, this was a very popular method apparently in the 70s, where you make 1 or 2, what I found was 2 is probably better, pieces of cardboard. This is like about the same weight as like your cereal box kind of thing. And all I did was trace a circle that I liked the size. I think this was actually a shot glass and this was a dime. Just traced them and went and cut it out and then left a little space open. And you're going to wrap it all around that and cut your loops in between here. Now, there's a video, I found it on YouTube. So if you want to do that method, I think if you look up perfect pom pom, you'll find an excellent video on it. The girl is super cute and she does it well. This is what happened when I did it. It didn't make it. It didn't make it. It's dying a slow death. It didn't work out. So that one, not good for me, might be good for you. But it wasn't my favorite. My favorite's either the fork or just using your hands. But what I found was a really cool thing about like having this template. It doesn't even have to be like this, just a circle, is to use it as a template to cut and trim, give your pom pom a haircut so that you basically have a little stencil. One other thing, when you're trimming and giving it a haircut, all the little bits that come off, these little guys, holy crikey, they will stick to everything. So, you know, keep that in mind. Like, I do not want to be wearing white with this because I'm going to need like a whole lint brush afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, you're just going to give it a little haircut. It's kind of the fun part. I used to be a hairdresser once. That was a long time ago, it feels like. Oh, see, I'm already getting the floofs. You see the floofs? Yeah, it's going to stick on you. That's why you got your paper there, you know what I mean? And so you're going to just keep moving around and trimming it. So why on earth would you want to make a pom-pom? Well, I think you can do some really simple crafts with them. And like I said, I think this is an excellent craft to do with kids. And personally, I don't think a lot of kids get enough fiber and texture arts into their world. So this is a good little way to try that. Okay, this is not the best, but you get the idea. So I would just keep going around and trimming this little guy. So what I could do with this is I could take a ribbon and I could tie a bunch of these for a little bunting. I could trim this off and take a thread and needle and make a bunch of them as like just kind of like a string, like a little accent. I think it would look so dang cute with like a hanging plant or something, or off the end of a hanging plant. Just little accents even around the house, it'd be super cute. I also think it would be just darling to make pom-pom earrings. But if you don't want to do any of that, go to the dollar store. These were $1.50 and they're dang cute. And here's another project that you can do with them. And personally, why I started on this Pom Pom Party adventure was for these. Oh, I'm hanging them upside down. Did anyone wear these back in the day? Tell me in the chat, because I remember my mom, so I'm an 80s baby, and my mom had these, and I would steal them from her all the time. I loved them. So, like, literally, I got a 3-pack of ankle socks. I think I found these at either at Walmart or the dollar store. Just, a couple bucks. And you can make your pom-pom. Here's a nicer one that I've done here. So you could, this one's a bit big. You could put it there. But these ones from the dollar store are a nice size. And all I did was take a needle and thread, tie the end, and sew it on. And like, you've just zhuzhed up your whole outfit. Who wears these anymore? It's amazing. I hope you make these. They're super cute. So yeah, those are the projects that I think would be cool, retro, pom-pom fun. Let me know what else you would do with your pom-poms. I'd be so interested to hear of other ideas for sure. Yeah, so let me know in the comments, whether it's live or on the replay. I would love to hear from you. And other than that, I can't believe it's already been half an hour. Yeah, does anybody have any questions? Want to talk about anything? I have a few more minutes before I have to jet. But this has been super fun. I'm so glad that I didn't have any technical issues today. So yay. Yes, Yes, thank you. Happy socks. Yes, like, I'm sorry, but if you're wearing these, you're gonna be in a great mood. You know what I'm saying? They're happy socks for sure. And like this would how cute would a gift like this be? Because nobody's expecting that, you know what I mean? I think were they really popular? I don't know, but like I remember very, very distinctly, when you wear your mom's high heel shoes. Well, I used to wear my mom's high heel shoes when I was a kid, and like your little foot is like so big. Well, this is what I would put in first, and it'd be all like slagging and whatever. Anyway, well, friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. And I hope you have a fantastic day, fantastic week. I will be here next Thursday. Um, get on my email list if you're not already. I'm going to keep it at 11 for now. If there are any changes, I will be letting folks know first in my email. And yeah, so thank you again for coming. I appreciate you. You rock. And remember, keep creative and stay cool, buddy. I'll talk to you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Mwah.